You for tuning in to this YouTube channel, Joy Inspiration Ministries. For those of you who are visiting this channel for the first time, I want to ask that you please consider becoming a subscriber. So you can go ahead right now and click the subscribe button. And to those of you who have been faithful in following this YouTube channel, I want to take the moment to just thank you. I do not take your commitment to being a subscriber and being faithful in your following for granted. I sincerely do thank you from the bottom of my heart. Now, I want to just dive right in to the message on today. Today, I want to talk a bit about the subject of craving. Now, we know that we as a people, there are so many things that we have a tendency to crave for. So we're going to talk about cravings on today. Now, let's first look at the definition for the word craving. According to Webster's, craving is defined as an intense desire for something really particular. An intense desire for something really particular. An intense desire that is so strong, you just can't let it go. So that's how strong the desire or the craving is, until you just can't let it go, until you've done something actually to attempt in satisfying the craving. Cravings can be good, cravings can be bad, depending upon what it is that you're actually craving for, and the reason that is actually behind the crave or the desire that you have. Cravings can be natural, spiritual. Cravings can be lustful. Cravings can be harmful. And cravings can be beneficial to us. For some people, sweets are craved. They crave sweets. Others, it's salty foods that one may crave, like chips and pretzels. And others just want to hit the fast food drive-through. So they crave what we call junk food or fast food. We're human, and it's completely natural for us to have cravings. It's natural for us to have desires and want things. Some people have deep cravings or desires for things besides food. They might crave approval. They may crave love and wanting to be accepted. Some crave power and fame, and some crave, wealth and just wanting to be in authority. That's that power thing. It might even be a crave to be understood, simply just desiring to be understood. One may crave just wanting to be heard or to receive praise from others. Well, these types of cravings, they are clearly seen on the social media platforms. We see on Instagram and Facebook. We see on TikTok and other forms of social media that people might be craving approval, or craving love and acceptance. They want, they have the selfie uploads. And so they're constantly checking to see how many likes that they may have gotten, or how many comments, positive comments, that is, because they're wanting to be accepted, they're wanting to be approved, that people have actually made. So we see this activity of craving even on social media platforms. That's a deep craving for a sense of approval and wanting attention for others. Primarily, that's what it is. Approval and attention and acceptance from others. People whom we don't even know. People whom we have called friends, and they're not actually friends. They're followers. Some may be friends, some may be true family, but most often they're total strangers. We believe that maybe if others would just acknowledge us, if they would just acknowledge us in a positive way, the deep need for love and attention and acceptance will be fulfilled. And so that's what we believe, that it'll be fulfilled. Well, unfortunately, we come to find out that that need is rarely ever fulfilled or met on the social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram. The likes and the intentions from others, or the food that we may crave, it just doesn't fulfill us. And so the truth of the matter is that the things we often turn toward to bring us fulfillment usually leave us unfulfilled, dissatisfied, and certainly it always leads to just wanting more because we haven't been fulfilled. We still have that emptiness, we still have that void. And so it leaves us just wanting more until the craving or the desire is satisfied. There have been studies that have actually shown that in life, almost everyone crave for safety. Now that's a good crave. Everyone wants to be safe. Everyone wants to have a sense of belonging. Everyone wants to matter to someone, and that matter is being important to someone, being meaningful to someone. And studies have shown that belonging and mattering to someone it helps our ability to perform in many roles in our lives. And especially if you know you matter and you're making a difference, that's going to help to improve your performance, your production, what it is that you do as a mother, what it is that you do as a father, as a husband, as a wife, what you do in the classroom as a teacher, what you do as a doctor or a nurse, whatever the profession may be. You know that you're making a difference. You know that you feel important, and it helps you to perform in that role even better. And so it brings a sense of satisfaction to our lives. Now, that's good craving because everyone wants to belong. You want to feel as though you belong. You want to feel as though that you matter and you're important. Not that you something big time, what folks call I'm a VIP, you some kind of celebrity. Not necessarily that type of belonging or mattering, but just basic, in your roles, the simple roles that I named, as mothers and fathers, even as sisters and brothers, even in your role as a friend. Everyone wants to matter. Everyone wants to belong. Also, I've found out that according to surveys, the question has been asked of millions worldwide that if you could say in one word what you want most in life, what would it be? If you could say in one word what it is that you want most in life, what would it be? Well, and that's something you can think about. One word, what would it be? According to the worldwide survey, the survey actually revealed that the top 10 things, so it's the top 10 things that people reported that they want most. And those top 10 things that they want most is happiness, money, personal freedom, peace of mind. They want joy, balance, fulfillment. They desire confidence. They want stability and passion. So those are the top 10 things reported that people, if in one word, they could say what it is that they desire or want most in life, those are the top 10 things. And so today, I want you to ask yourself this question. What are you craving for? What are you desiring for most in life? Ask yourself that question. Now, you may have thought that once you reach a certain number of friends on Facebook or followers on Instagram, and this is back to the social media, because there's so many of us that spend so much time on the social media platforms. And I'm getting to a point now where I'm weeding myself actually away from it. At one time, I was using it in first it was rarely, and then I found myself using it in moderation. And then I found myself visiting the platforms. And I believe it was in 2020, I was on the platforms even more. But I'm beginning to wean myself away because I want to go back to the moderate use of the social media platforms. I don't want to become addicted to the use of the social media platforms. And I want to use the platforms beneficial to others in sharing of content, not just be on there just sharing, randomly, excuse the word, I'll just say stuff. I don't want to use it that way. I want to use it in content that would be a blessing to people, and use it in a way of keeping in contact with family and distant relatives and friends. So I'm going back to the more moderate use. So you may see me less and less, especially on Instagram and Facebook. You'll see less and less of me on those two social media platforms, but I'll still have a presence. And so in the numbers, looking for the followers and wanting the friends, it makes us feel more connected to people. And I feel that way when I'm on the platforms. I do feel more connected to people. There's so many people that I've gotten to know that were friends of friends, and I've gotten to know them, and it's truly been a blessing in my life. And I pray that I've been a blessing in their lives as well. But in that connection, it actually, for so many of us, it leaves you feeling more alone, because the motive by which you are on those platforms, everyone's motives is different. Their reasons for having a presence on those platforms. And if it's not for the right reason or motive, individuals will find themselves feeling even more alone than they were before they had a presence on those platforms. Even with our cravings, we may feel as though that, eating a bag of chips or eating a candy bar or having some ice cream is going to fix the frustration that we may have in life. Frustrations with certain situations, frustrations with the job, frustrations with your spouse, or frustration with your kids, frustrations, with friends, but resulting to that, it doesn't satisfy. Because even after having that candy bar, or after you've had that ice cream or that bag of chips, and some people might even say, I'm just going to have a drink, after all the frustration of certain situations and just dealing with people, it doesn't satisfy. It'll leave you wanting to drink more, and it'll leave you wanting to eat more, because the hunger is still there. And it'll leave you feeling emptier than before. So, beloved, just imagine for a moment, just imagine that if we were to take all of our cravings and things that we desire, just think, because we desire and crave many things, we all do. Just imagine for a moment that if we were to take all of that craving and desiring energy. And we begin to long for something greater, much greater than the food substance, than the liquid substance. For some, it's a drug substance and use, drug and alcohol abuse. For others, it's cigarettes, social media cravings, and addiction. That wanting approval, wanting acceptance. What if we were to take that energy and channel it into something far greater? What if instead of craving for praise from others, that we crave a deep love for God, and craving that deep love for God, that He loves us just the way we are? What if we were begin to channel that energy craving towards just wanting to become more intimate with God, wanting to become, for some, connected with Him, because you haven't made that connection. With others, you've made the connection with Him, but He desires for each and every one of us to become more intimate with Him in our relationships. What if we were to do that? And in all our insecurities and all our imperfection, God accepts us just as we are. With human beings, they have a tendency that with your imperfections and with your insecurities, won't accept you as you are. But God, He accepts us just the way we are. So what if we turn our cravings and our strong desires towards wanting really more of Him, desiring to be more connected with Him? What if instead of craving those approvals of acceptance, and I say it again, what if instead of craving those approvals of acceptance from others, that we just crave building a stronger and a more intimate and healthier relationship with God? So think on that. What if instead of craving technology, we began to crave, for some the first time, for others even more, studying the Word of God, crave a more intimate and relationship with Him, crave engaging ourselves more with the things of God, being in fellowship with other believers, serving in our communities or in capacity by which the Lord will lead you to serve. What if we craved just sharing more of our testimonies and the Word of God with others? What if we just craved, beloved, more God? What if we just craved more God? Can you imagine what your life would possibly be like if you began to crave more of God and less of the things that we know that will only give us temporarily fulfillment? Some things will give us no fulfillment, just total dissatisfaction, left with just wanting more. So what if we were to rechannel that energy? Because I tell you, beloved, that it is only through focusing our cravings toward God that our lives can truly be